Hello everyone! It is Friday, and today, as you all know, we're going to be playing some Ace Attorney. It has been a while. I haven't forgotten, and I'm going to try my best to play through this whole thing. We will only play this case, finish this case, because I think otherwise my throat is going to object like horribly. So, hello Pix, hello Septile, hello Will. How are you all doing today? And thanks for the lurks. Hello, Kaya. And things are going as it should. So, let's get right down to business because I want to do this. I play some more of it, and I do hope that things will go the way I want it to. Excellent, and that there will be no problems. No problems, I said. And just in case today, I brought myself some honey and lemon tea. Just a little bit. And before the one on my right says anything, I did take into account that having boiling water ruins the effect of honey. I did take that into account. You look so disappointed. Now then, let's see. Where is it? There it is. Excellent, everything is working. No problems whatsoever. Okay, so let's get right on. Because the goddess of the law demands justice. There we go. Now here's this familiar scene. This is the second time I've been in this cell. All my evidence has been taken from me. The only thing I have left is Kei's Yatagara's badge. I'm worried about Kei. Is she alright? The culprit is me. I remember looking down at the person in the red raincoat. Mr. Edgeworth, it was me. The culprit was me all along. You have a visitor? Please hurry it up. A visitor? Who could it be? Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe. Will you turn him down? No. It'll be hard to face him, though. Wait here. He's not going to stay and keep watch. Pardon me? Oh, hello, Justine. Judge Courtney! Hush. Please, have a seat. Oh, I love this song, it's so good. Why are you here? I was told the detective had come. If I didn't instruct them to tell you that, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. I can't think of anything she'd need from me at this point. I should try to figure out what she wants. Your visitation rights have been restricted to begin with. It's as if he's some monstrous criminal. I suppose my credibility has hit rock bottom. But of course, your friends have fared a little better though. That lawyer and that girl were both quite worked up. Mr. Shields and Emma. When I last saw them, they were giving one of the guards quite an earful. What? You don't mean? Oh, be grateful. The goddess of law has been quite busy. They were spared punishment. Manfred screaming. Yeah, that's a thing. It certainly seems like you have plenty of time for small talk. Oh yes. Prosecutor von Karma is presently continuing the investigation. You were worried about them, right? I guess she sure saw right through me. Let's cut to the chase. Exactly what are you planning? I am not planning anything. There is merely a question I wish to ask. You're asking me? Yes, of course. Who else is here? Objectively speaking, you are a clever individual and you have a sharp mind. As a prosecutor, you are highly talented and capable. Are you being ironic? Your sarcasm falls short. I am being completely sincere. And that is why I cannot understand. Take this case, for instance. You're up against the PIC. There is no chance for you to come out on top. Even a child can understand, and yet you... Perhaps my younger self would not have done something so reckless. The me from before had power. That's why I thought justice was on my side. So there is something else here. Yeah, she does. So, like, she does. It's like she's not. She doesn't want anything. She says. I'm putting S for doubt. She wants something. Just like you right now. Oh, well, he gets to the heart of the matter really quickly. However, because of a certain man, my self-centered sense of justice has broken down. Ever since then, I began to see people in a different light. I'm able to serve as a prosecutor only because of the support of the people around me. People like Detective Gumshoe, and all the other investigators, and Kay as well. Honestly, I'm even surprised at how much I've changed. I see. Is that how it is? I've come to understand you a little bit more. Understand me? Not likely. Someone like you, who forces her own sense of justice onto others, could never understand. Oh, I do wonder about that. Is that what you think? If I could say one thing, it would be that this conversation has been very interesting. That is all. Our conversation is coming to an end, however. I have one last thing to tell you. The date of your hearing has been set. I came here today to inform you. Today, in the PIC meeting room, may you humbly accept your fate. If that is all you wanted to say, couldn't you just send me a messenger? The holy words of the goddess of law cannot simply be trusted to others. With that, Mr. Edgeworth, I bid you farewell. I shall be seeing you again later. I'm just gonna double check if my filters are correctly set. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. There's a poster on the wall next to the toilet. We're currently out of toilet paper. Please be prepared if you wish to use the toilet. What does it mean by be prepared? It's a simple bed, and I'd expect it to be very comfortable to sleep on. If I were Detective Gumshoe, if it were Detective Gumshoe, he'd probably snore loudly and sleeping like a log. I may never get the chance to work with him again. However, this is the path I choose. I won't regret it. But there's a dining menu sitting on the desk. It seems like I can get food delivered if I pay for it. Let's see. Moldy white bread lunch set. Switch to moldy whole wheat bread for an extra $1. Wow. You know what? I can almost see this being a thing in the US. Like, you're incarcerated, pay for your food. Oh, and by the way, the food is moldy. I can honestly see that happen almost. But at the same time, not really, because it's kind of baffling, but prisoners eat better than like students, and that's how it is in most countries. I think, at least in most of the industrialized world, or something like that. It is ridiculous. Oatmeal and grits set meal. For a limited time, get extra gruel at no additional cost. Thank goodness I'm not hungry right now. I mustn't neglect my personal appearance just because I'm in a holding cell. Prosecutor or not, this is my personal duty. My collar is slightly bent. There. A well-groomed appearance reflects a well-groomed mind. From here on, I need to focus myself more than ever. Oh, pigs. There's a poster hanging in the hallway. The Dice and Slice game. Roll the dice and decide your daily menu. The Dice and Slice game has been cancelled due to the warden's arrest. We sincerely apologize to anyone who's looking forward to it. There's no need to apologize for cancelling such a silly game. Another visitor. Kay! Aha! It seems you're all right. I'm relieved. For now. You know, this is kind of touching. You look a little down, Kay. Please cheer up. You didn't do anything wrong, I guarantee it. Please, just accept it. I'm a murderer. That is not true. Why don't you believe in yourself? What should I believe in? I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing to believe in? That is not true. I shall just also adjust my microphone a little bit. Before you lost your memories, you literally jumped into my life. As a result, your words and actions have become engraved in my memories. That mark you left behind, how can you call that nothing? I believe in your innocence. That is why you must believe in yourself as well. Thank you. Don't believe in yourself. Believe in me who believes in you. But it's no use. Look at all the misfortune I brought upon you. If you can't, please forget it all. Your memories of Kay Faraday. Kay! You know, this takes me back. In my youth, I too wasn't gallant. Is this the kind of justice the PIC seeks? Justice, huh? I wonder. This man, what is he planning? Why is he pushing things forward so forcefully? It all seems too unnatural. Is there a hidden agenda? There's no time left. It's all or nothing now. Well then, I must take my leave. Hold it! No matter how you look at it, Kay's arrest was unnatural. There must be something behind it. Hey, I'm a busy man, you know. I'm kind of a big deal, you see? I trust this won't take up too much of our time. In order to make it out of this situation, I must break through his defenses. There are plenty of things I want to ask, but my time is limited. First, I'll ask about why he rushed to arrest. I had no intention of letting him push me around. I will overcome this difficult situation. Why do you rush her arrest? I would like a clear explanation. Explanation? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. You clearly did not follow this proper procedures. Okay. Maybe you should pipe it down a bit. Do you even know what position you're in? Haven't you realized it yet? I have you cornered. My, it looks like you're so exciting about. Okay, so I guess a wasted remark. Okay, that goes rather slowly. I think I'm gonna go with the this one actually now. K is not the culprit. My, that's a rather bold claim, you know. Anyone can shout objections at the top of their lungs, you see. Mr. Former Prodigy Prosecutor. Okay, so it's not that. Hello, Laplace. Welcome. Suppose we let the criminal escape, what do you think will happen? What will happen? I would have to take the responsibility, you see. I do hope you understand. Just take my advice and stay out of this. You know what's good for you. I refuse. Kay is innocent. You know, this is so pitiful. It brings me to tears. Why won't you just give up? Things were finally going well. What was going well? Things were going well, you say? That's a strange way to put it. You haven't really missed anything. We just started with the logic chess against this asshole. It almost sounds as if you personally wanted Kay to be arrested. Far more than necessary. Haven't you lost your impartiality? You think so? That certainly wasn't my intention, you see. Edgeworth, my boy, you're reading far too much into it. You know, the last time someone called Edgeworth, my boy, we had a murder on our hands, and he was also a high-ranking member of law enforcement. That was Gantz. So, yeah, this guy did it. This guy, 100%. Which makes me wonder what Courtney is. Yeah, Gant had a personality, absolutely. He skillfully avoids the issue. However, I still have some serious doubts about Kay's arrest. Next, I should ask him if the investigation was sufficient. I can't even miss a tiniest piece of information. That was the only way to break through the situation. It's hard to say that the investigation was sufficient. The arrest, was it under your authority? My, do I really look that important? The Prosecutorial Investigations Committee Chairman. It is quite a prominent title. Not that I care much for it. That was rather blunt. I'm so shocked I could cry. I'm sorry, flattery was never my forte. If you keep talking like that towards me, you'll never get your prosecutor's badge back, you know? Oh, come on. I was hoping that would be like, you know, almost like sarcastic. Let me make this clear right now. I do not live for the sake of my badge. Status means nothing to me. Do you understand? Well, Edgeworth is our adopted Brit. Of course sarcasm is in his repertoire. Young. So young. Okay, that is fair. I mean, it's Edgeworth himself, so there's that. Let me teach you something as your senior in life. What you're saying right now is far too naive, you see. The look in his eyes has changed. He might respond differently to some of my questions now. This is my chance. Yeah, Gallop theme is amazing. How long was spent on the investigation? Well, aren't you a bit impertinent one? Even someone like me is starting to get annoyed. What a coincidence, I feel the same way. Answer me, was the investigation sufficient? Young folks always live life in the fast lane. That's why I like to bully him. You'll regret this soon enough. Okay. You sure are quiet. Are you scared? Ridiculous. I was just thinking about my next strategy. On how to extract information from a weepy old man. You should show some remorse, you know. Don't you get it? I hold your fate in my hands. In any case, even if you obtain some information, there's nothing you can do. Just give up already. I refuse. Mind if I ask why? It's simple. The truth is fading away. That is all there is to it. I see. I'm starting to understand what kind of person you are. But you know, it's all useless. It's enough to make me cry. Give it up. That girl's guilt has already been decided. Oh, that is interesting. That's strange. The way you said that is almost sounds as if it was decided from the very beginning. What you're trying to say? Yes, it's clearly unnatural. Everything is progressing as if Kay's guilt was predetermined. Wasn't Kay's arrest planned from the very start? I see. That's an interesting theory. But I don't have time to indulge in your flights of fancy, you know. Why don't we just put an end to this silly conversation? Cousins, he's trying to get away. Before that, I must find out if the arrest was lawful. Okay, now I guess this is going to be quick then. It is still very faint, but I'm beginning to see the path to the truth. I can't let this opportunity slip by. Kay is not a culprit. My, that's a right. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay. Please wait, there's still something I want to ask you. I've grown weary of our little tete-a-tete. Please keep it short, okay? Who was the one who made the decision to arrest her? Well, I can't say I remember. Growing old is a terrible thing, you see. My memories of what it used to be, you know. Okay, so it's the other one. If I put together what you have told me up until now, I cannot help but say that there is no basis for Kay's arrest. Yes, I understand, you see. But you know, it doesn't really matter entirely. Either way, you can't overturn her arrest. How irresponsible. Do you still claim to be a man of the law? My. Those are some harsh words, you know. You know, you're starting to make me a little angry. Haven't you realized it yet? Okay. Okay, so I should really be just sitting there and just like wait and see. So when he's agitated, shouldn't do anything really. Yeah, my chat is always threatening murder, which is fine on these characters. You see, to be honest, I really can't answer all of your questions, you know? That's just the position I'm in, you see. I'm a busy man, you know. Aren't you just pretending to be busy? That's cruel, you know. This old chunk of coal has been working like a dog, pretending. Just what do you think that would accomplish? You don't want to talk about the case. Isn't that why you're trying to get away from this place? How sad, yes, how sad indeed. Do you really suspect little old me? I do suspect you, and I'm confident about it. There was clearly no basis for Kay's arrest. My, haven't you forgotten? Wasn't there evidence? The mask, the letter, and the corsage, all found in the girl's possession? Not that it mentioned she even confessed. A confession under duress is not a confession. Although, I guess, Americans don't care about that. All of this serves to prove her crime. That's... Any objections? Oh, by the way, don't take legal advice from me, but the police is not your friend. Like, you know. As a matter of fact, when I think about it, isn't the US police, like, as a whole, very like, Edgeworth was just like, we need to get a we need to get someone we need to get someone a guilty verdict, you know? Yeah, there's also that. But like, Ace Attorney doesn't care about anything about, you know, how the world works, because it's all unique, because it's Ace Attorney universe with their own special rules. You see, yeah, no response. It's true and I have no objections, although there is one point that bothers me. This man seems awfully familiar with the evidence. To remember everything without missing a beat. That intrigues me. This could be a useful clue. Oh, we still haven't gone there yet. There we go. Don't play dumb with me. Didn't you remember all the evidence in full detail just now? Stop pretending to be a forgetful old man when things aren't going your way. Now then, who was the one who made the decision to arrest her? I see, you're a sharp one, aren't you? You know, I wish my son could learn from you. Because he's a real idiot. Stop. I'm not interested in your son. Who made the decision for the arrest? You're a bad man, you know. Don't you already know? The one who ordered her arrest? The person right in front of me, I'm certain of it. Ouch. You make it sound like I committed some kind of injustice. I guess I'll have to clear that up. My honor is at stake here, you see. Very well, I will continue to play along with you until you are satisfied. What is most crucial here is how much this man knows about the case. If I can get him to reveal that. It's do or die. If I can overcome this, I'll reach the truth. You seem pretty familiar with the case. I am a wise man, you know. I'm familiar with most things, you see. I didn't think it was very wise of you to arrest Kay in this case. I'm a very busy man. I can even end this conversation anytime I want, you know. Don't you forget about that. This would already have been over if you had simply answered my questions. I'm gonna need some water because holy shit. I've already finished my tea. And now we're drinking lemon water. Yeah, this guy is this is not how you raise a child. Like, seriously. You don't raise a child by constantly belittling them and telling them they're dumb. That's not how you do it. That's not okay. Oh yes. Absolutely, Laplace. Yeah, I don't like question marks so much, but he really, like, no one deserves a father like this. Seriously. This is just, If you give me a proper answer, I won't take any more of your time. I will ask you once again, why are you familiar with this case? I read your case files, you see. Honestly, it was just quite a drag, you know, but it's my job, so what could I do? Because of my position, you see, I can't just skip out on it. Well, I had some time to kill, so I read the whole thing, you see. That's interesting. Well, that's strange. Didn't you just say you were very busy? Aren't you all slowly coming to light now? If you truly wish to protect your position, I would advise you to rescind that arrest order. You really are desperate, you know. That never say die attitude. It touches my heart. But you know, it's unfortunate that your hard work was for naught. Because we discovered her unconscious body near the crime scene, you see. Wait, what? What? Kay was discovered wandering about outside and brought in by a nurse. This is the first I've heard of Dre's condition when she was found. She was unconscious in the storeroom. That's right, the source of that information is classified though. This man knows things even I don't know. Does he know the whole story behind this case? Could be a useful clue. The suspect regarding Kay. How much do you know about her? She is a suspect in this case. That is all I know, you see. Scout's honor. Something you've said feels out of place. You know about things that the crime scene investigation never revealed. Why is that? Just how much of this truth do you know? You're making that forceful face again. You know, it kind of makes me want to do the same. Like this. You're really a persistent one, you know? I can admire that, see? I'll take that as a compliment. Can't you give it a rest already? At my age, my body's not as strong as it once was, you know. There is no one else who could be the culprit besides her. She was even given that much evidence to show that she committed the crime. This guy should be so happy that Edgeworth is on the other side of a cell wall. Otherwise, I do think Edgeworth would strangle him on the spot. Motions to the bartender. Yeah, Will is here. Lurking probably, but one shot for corruption, please. Oh. She was given evidence, you say? That's an odd choice of words. It almost sounds as if she did not possess them under her own will. I see. You really have a fine eye for the details. As expected of a former prodigy prosecutor. You've already found your answer, haven't you? I'm listening, so go ahead and say it. There's no need to hold back. I have finally wrenched open the heavy door to the truth. Now, all that remains is to strike that final blow. Kay is not a culprit. My, that's a rather bold claim. I shall break through this with a clue. Kay was framed. The true culprit is pinning the blame on her. That is my answer. Aww. Okay, you know, I am desperately hoping now that when this guy breaks, his beard and all the hair catches fire and burns. That is my hope now. Yes, you are a clever one. It almost makes me feel bad that your prosecutor's badge was taken away, you know? Yes, it is as you say. Check, mate. Let's nail this guy to the wall. You arrested Kay even when you knew the existence of the true culprit. Don't toy with me. There's no way such an act would be tolerated. You're sure agreeing, you know. That's what the prosecutor is supposed to do. Also, I just noticed he claims that he is like frail old man, but take a look underneath like the lighter and the chat frame. Look at his stomach. Look at those abs. This guy is not old and weak. Who does he think he's fooling with that? He's wearing like skin tight clothes and it's like showing up his rippled body. Like, come on. I guess, but still, just look there, look! Who would desire for such a resolution? If I had to say, maybe the PIC? Oh, and also maybe me, you know? When I heard your words just now, I could barely hold back my tears, you know. It was just so splendid, you see, and it burns me up inside. I am not the most perfect piece of work, you know, so I can't forgive such... You say there's truth's important, but you know, once you know the real value the truth holds, I wonder if you can still say the same thing. What are you trying to say? When you get to where I am, you can just create your own truths anytime you want. Kay Faraday is a culprit. That is the truth that I simply manufactured out of thin air. Good. Very good. That face. That expression. You were such a desperate one, you see. That's why I really wanted to bully you, you know. You see, even if you know the truth, there's simply nothing you can do. And that is the real value of the truth. So shocking that it's a die for, you know. Why won't you pursue the true culprit? How much of the truth do you know? You understand now? The truth that you believe in is worthless, you see. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Powerless former prosecutor. You. Oh, scary, scary. You know, I guess friends of heinous criminals are also quite heinous themselves. Blaze, you. And like this, you see, one more person will disappear before me. Oh, here come the waterworks. These tears of mine won't just stop, you know. You know, I want to nail this guy to Courtney's walls. Given how much Courtney loves, like, if Courtney isn't corrupt, if she is as sincere and almost like willfully ignorant as she like portrays herself and like is, and blind and with this blind justice, I hope to see her nail this guy to her walls and hang him up on the goddess of law's sword for all. You know, like Vlad the Impaler style. That would. Kay is innocent. I will definitely prove it. Ten members are present. The quorum has been met. From here on out, let the council begin. Today's deliberation shall be about Miles Edgeworth's aptitude and ability as a prosecutor. Let our members discuss this matter with a clear conscience of the goddess of law. A clear conscience? Don't make me laugh. Courtney, please give us your report. On April 5th, Prosecutor Edgeworth carried out an illegal investigation and resisted arrest. He was arrested by two of our members who caught him in the act, myself and Blaze the Best. Prosecutor Edgeworth disrupted the investigation of attorney Jill Crane's murder. He claims that the culprit, Kay Faraday, was arrested without sufficient evidence. Even now, his claim remains unchanged. Tell us more about the murder incident. On April 5th, the victim's body was found here in the PIC's meeting room. Regarding the details, I, Sebastian the best prosecutor, will enlighten you. The prosecutor in charge, Sebastian the Best, will explain the rest of the details. The murder happened on the night of the 4th. The victim was one Jill Crane. Yeah, like, right? Yeah, she is. I saw Lotta, but I just choose to ignore her. Because the more we ignore Lotta, the better. On the same night, a black market auction was being held in this very courtroom. I guess Miss Crane was taking part in the auction, yep. The murder occurred in the middle of the auction, did it not? Oh, wait. The murder occurred in the middle of the auction, did it not? When Miss Crane was found, she was dressed like the conductor of the auction. However, based on the fact that the auction continued after the murder occurred, I deduce that Miss Crane could not have been the conductor. You were the one who made that deduction. Sebastian, please show everyone the basis for the arrest of the culprit. You got it, Justine. Kay Faraday was unable to bear the weight of her good conscience. I believe you mean her guilty conscience. Yes, her guilty conscience that drove her to confess the crime. According to her confession, on the roof of this building, she met a figure in a red raincoat on the viewing platform. So, Miss Crane was wearing a red raincoat? Wait, what? Like what? What? Yeah, it's past the license. I'm trying to figure out like how the timeline they're doing right now is like this timeline makes absolutely no sense. Yes, that is correct. The culprit used the conductor's clothes as a red herring to mislead us. At the time of the murder, Miss Crane was wearing a red raincoat. It was I who discovered the raincoat near this building. You did? I'm sure it was a forensics team who found it. To be more precise, it was a forensic team under Sebastian's orders who discovered it. I thought as much. According to the blood analysis, the person in the red raincoat and Miss Crane were the same person. The decisive evidence is the culprit's own confession. She testified she killed him. That is right, the culprit is Kay Faraday. It couldn't have been anyone else but her. Well then, Edgeworth, if you have any objections, let us hear them. I have no objections. I see, I see. It seems that the fight has gone all after you a little over, let's say. I have no objections to your claim that I investigated illegally. I admit to that. However, I object to the claim that Kay Faraday is the culprit. I will testify that Sebastian's investigation was fair and just. Of course it was, Justine. Don't you know that I am the fairest of them all? Edgeworth, my boy. Despite how things may seem, I actually kind of like you. If, and this is just an if, you see, you were to withdraw your objection. What? You're the head chairman of the PIC and you're sitting there to like, is the whole PIC corrupt? Like, this guy is just sitting there. If you withdraw your objection about this, I will like you. And maybe more lenient. Like, holy shit, is everything corrupt here? At the same time, this is in the middle of the dark age of the law. Like, basically. Even though Phoenix has not yet been disbarred, if I recall the timeline correctly, this is basically like the onset of the dark age of the law. I would say this is the onset of it. But the Dark Age, I personally would say it like this is like like what culminates into it, and the Dark Age like officially kind of starts when that happens. Yeah, exactly. Slowly sent into it. You might be sitting on this side of the bench tomorrow. Oh my god! If that isn't corruption, then what is? Holy shit. I'll ask you one more time, Edgeworth. Do you have any objections? Don't take me for a fool. I'd advise you watch what you say. This man is the one who should be watch what he's saying. I'm talking about the case, not about the chair. I demand a testimony. By all means, let me hear it. I want to know how the PIC understands this case. A testimony from us? Fine then. If that is what it takes, we'll make it happy. Courtney, give him the materials from the investigation. Sir? But that's... It's the end of the line for him. I'll let him go out in a blaze of glory. If you insist, Mr. Chairman. Okay, what did we have? Courtney give the testimony. Okay, let's see. Is there any changes? I want to see if there's any changes to the testimony, like to any of the evidence here, or if it's the same. This is the same. This is the same. Same. Yeah, exactly. Like, I bet it's tampered with somehow, and I want to see if there's any forgery. This is the same, right? Yeah. Most precious memory. This one is the same. Purple flower, nothing there. This one can't have anything done to it because just... Yeah, nothing here. But just making sure. Someone walk towards her from the... Key card, okay. This looks to be the same as well. Let's see. Stab wounds led to the Chanlarba. Head burn mark, that's the same. I don't see anything out of place there. Keycard record. This is the same. Just making sure. Yeah, so... Sure. But like, with the... Actually, if Courtney is the one holding on to it, then I guess, yeah. So, revenge. Lotta's testimony has not changed. Stuffed animal. Lost. Photo. Okay, nothing has changed. Just have to make sure, you know. I have no objections. Mr. Edgeworth. Don't worry, Kay. You just watch from over there. Miss Crane went to the black market auction as a customer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for auction. We believe she left her seat after winning the bid for it. The only exit from the storeroom is the hatch that leads to the viewing platform. Miss Crane went out to the viewing platform where she was attacked by Kay Faraday. That was how she met her end, and that concludes the summary of the case. Oh well. The red raincoat was up for auction, is that a fact? It is quite likely. The red raincoat had been a piece of evidence in the assassination attempt on the president of Zhengfa, as you well know. Originally, it should have been stored in an appropriate place, but when I asked about it, I learned that it had gone missing. And it somehow made its way to the black market auction. Certainly a natural conclusion. My, well done, Courtney. Your explanation is as clear as ever. I am much obliged. Prosecutor Edgeworth, will you concede defeat now? Sorry, but I don't plan on it. I see. I am relieved. Relieved? What does she mean? Come to think about it, the reason for questioning me yesterday remains a mystery. Just what is she thinking? What does Lotta's testimony say? Let's see. Items, past case there. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly how it is, Pig. I think she does. So this is this really Jill Crane? I'm gonna press on this one. Why would Kay do such a thing? We intend to question her about that later. Later? That seemed to be your favorite time for interrogations. If the culprit was aware that the customers were required to exit from the hatch, it would have been easy to lie in wait for an ambush. Miss Crane was attacked when she was leaving the hatch. This one is the one that sticks out. Well, let's press both of these to see if we can uncover something more. The victim was a PIC member. Couldn't she have also just left from the meeting room? If she had done so during the auction, then its existence would be revealed to the public. Since Miss Hart knew about it, it seems the cat is already out of the bag. The customers were required to exit and enter from the hatch. Miss Crane was simply following protocol. Considering where the murder took place, she must have tried to leave through there. The only exit... So this is the one that sticks out to me here. Hello, TC! Viking foxy noises. Actually, I would say, like, because she must already have been attacked down there, though. So let's get the, I think it's gonna be the picture here.
Objection!
Absolutely. It calls the Blaze the worst out as having to try to bribe Miles. Judge Courtney, I've found it to be strange for a while now. Why is Miss Hart here with us? She is an eyewitness to this case. Isn't it only natural for her to be in attendance? Ah, shucks. I reckon I'm more of an earwitness than an eyewitness. It seems that gaining the trust of others isn't your strong point, Judge Courtney. Perhaps I simply don't wish to be as tactless as you. It appears you have failed to get the witness to tell you the most vital information. Please take a look at this photo. This was taken by Miss Hart. This photo seems to be taken in the storeroom. And what of it? According to your reasoning, the incident took place on the viewing platform. However, Miss Hart encountered the incident in the storeroom. That's right. It had taken place just before this photo was taken. Wait! If that's true, then Justine's reasoning... Exactly. It does not hold up. What? Ah! Miss Hart, allow me to ask you again. You saw the person in the photo with your own eyes, correct? Sure did. I seen them plain as day with my own eyes. And what did you think at the time? I figured I was going to get me a big scoop, you know. I guess that makes sense. That's not what I meant. What did you think of that person? Huh? Well, I reckon she'd bring me back home some bacon? Are you mocking me? Ah, shucks. Oh, make a scary old face. Oh, just a harmless little joke. Person in the red raincoat? I reckon they were the culprit. I hope you understand now. The crime occurred in the... Prosecutor Edgeworth, I cannot understand your argument if you do not say it out loud. If you had simply asked, I would have been more than willing to explain. Explain what? The sounds Miss Hart heard may not have been necessarily related to the case. That is impossible. Enough of your excuses. Was the voice Miss Hart heard really that of Miss Crane? Such a shade conversation must have had something to do with the case. What did her voice sound like? Her voice? Well, beats me. As I supposed to know, they were both using voice changers. Yes, the voices Miss Hart heard had been altered by a device. We must therefore question whether or not they have actually any bearings on this case. You need not object just because you wish to sigh. Judge Courtney, it seems that I have greatly overestimated you. No, Courtney is quite amazing, you see. You claim that the sounds Miss Hart has no bearing on this case. Even if they do not, it doesn't change the fact that the crimes took place in the storeroom. At the very least, the crime must have occurred before the victim went up to the rooftop. The reason being... Oh, rip.
Take
that! Being your yes, go ahead. At first, I thought that person in the red raincoat was a culprit. Well, Miss Hart's testimony certainly made it sound that way. Precisely. It's because she saw that person's hand covered in blood. Anyone who heard her testimony would have arrived at that same conclusion. The person in the red raincoat was a culprit, and the blood on their hand was the victim's. However, if the person in the red raincoat was the victim, then the situation changes completely. Since the blood can be seen in this photo, it must have been taken after the crime had occurred. It seems to be with an utterly wrong impression in regards to the victim's condition. Wait, are we arguing that this photo shows the true condition of the victim? Hello, Ben. Okay, she got hit like with a candelabra to the chest. Actually, actually, where's the autopsy report? Yeah, I know. Where's the autopsy report? I would like to see the autopsy. Oh, this is the autopsy. It doesn't say anything about, like, the time, so... oh, drink water, get something to eat, like, you know. I reckon, like, the victim struck the culprit, because, like, you can also be alive after being impaled a little while. Like drowning in your own blood. Unpleasant, but... The victim struck the culprit. That's probably when her hand got covered in blood. Prosecutor Edgeworth, all the blood we found at a crime scene belonged to the victim. Your reasoning doesn't seem to hold up. Okay, so it's the, How must it mean? There's only one answer. In other words, where's the victim? The victim was definitely attacked in a storeroom. Immediately afterward, the victim was seen with blood on her hand. That was me. The victim was still alive even after she was attacked. The blood on her hand was simply come from her own wound. No way! You say that she died from a hand in... Oh, this guy is a moron! I mean, his father is a dick for repeating it all the time, but like... He's not wrong, but like, instead of telling him that, you should encourage, like, you know, education. No, that is not the case. I suspect she held her hand against the wound. It can't be seen in this photo, but at this very moment she must have already suffered a fatal wound. Oh, if that's true, then it changed a lot of things, you know. It seems you understand. This refutes the allegations against Kay. Kay encountered a victim after this picture was taken. I believe at that point in time, the victim was already on the verge of death. It is likely Kay just happened to be present when the victim reached the end of her strength. That is quite the coincidence. Indeed. I can only say that she was the wrong place at the wrong time. Prosecutor Edgeworth, it seems that you have forgotten a very crucial fact. Oh, you mean that right? He must be pretending that he did not notice it, you know. What should you say? Are you implying that I forgot something? Court, I think it's about time you gave him his last rites. Hey, Pops, Justine's with me, you know. Don't order around like that. You know, even though you're my son, you're so embarrassing. I'm not embarrassing. I'm sorry, but you're both rather embarrassing. Justine, give Mr. Edgeworth his, Very well. I shall give him his last rites. When the body was found, there were 3 wounds in Miss Crane's chest. I am sure you're well aware what kinds of wounds these were, right? Yes, she was stabbed in the heart with a 3-pronged candelabra. Is there any person who could survive such an injury? Please take a close look at the autopsy report. Can you still say the same thing after reading it? Well done, Justine. And with this, Mr. Edgeworth, well, I will offer a rebuttal, of course. Why would you do that? Did you hear what Justine just said? Of course I did. And I still plan to object to it. It's not fair! You're almost opposing me at every turn. It was never my intention to oppose you. Huh? Really? It is simply not worth my time. Oh, Edgeworth. The best. Sebastian, the best is 17. Oh, this is wonderful. I see. So that's how it is. Yep. After all, I am... That's enough, you know. You're embarrassing your father, you see. Huh? What do you mean, Pops? Hold it! Why did you ask Sebastian instead? Of course, Sebastian knows all about it. Huh? Me? Yeah, I know everything. He's obviously lying. Sebastian, maybe you should sneak peek at the autopsy report, you know? Okay, so obvious, like, okay, let's look at the autopsy report. Head wound was post-mortem. And the burn mark. We don't know what, we don't have anything on the burn mark yet, but yeah, it is very specific. Let's see here. The fatal wound was caused by the candelabra. Oh, so that's how it was. Ahem. The cause of the wound was just as Sebastian said. So the cause of death was a stab wound to the heart, is that correct? Yes, the candelabra pierced right into her heart. Since this was Dr. Young's medical opinion, it must be the truth. The coroner's medical opinion follows my own opinion, therefore, it's perfect. I certainly cannot ignore the autopsy reports, however... Hey! Don't ignore my opinion! However, if the cause of death was stab wound to the victim's chest, wouldn't it contradict that piece of evidence? Oh, he's totally ignoring me. Justine, say something! Yes, I will not allow you to ignore my reasoning. Even Courtney is throwing, like, indirectly throwing it, and it just flies right over Sebastian's head. But that does contradict the other evidence here. This one. Because this is the one... it contradicts this one. So they're trying to argue that she was stabbed at the top. Mr. Edgeworth. We'll be fine, Kay. There's nothing for you to worry about. Yeah, exactly. So, like, there's no blood inside the raincoat. Because if Kay stabbed her while wearing the red raincoat. Oh wait, blood was found on the hood. Objection! That wasn't that then. It doesn't say where it was found anymore. God. This one has no holes in it, and if the culprit, like if they're arguing that she is the one walking there. At the very least, we cannot be certain that she died instantly. Even if you still had a little bit of life left, I doubt she would have held on for long. Can't people survive after being stabbed in the chest? Wait, what? Although in some cases, maybe they can, although maybe they can't. So in the end, which one is it? No such human exists. If you think they do, then first. According to the autopsy report, the stab wound was to the left chest, caused the fatality. Correct. The autopsy report itself is the foundation for my reasoning. In other words, I just have to shatter that foundation. I look like Courtney. We have to make do for the goddess of the law. I don't find that amusing at all. I look forward to seeing you try. Nevertheless, please take a look at the autopsy report before you make a rebuttal. Show me that your reasoning is not just mere conjecture. Very well. So... the autopsy report, like, yes, but... left chest with the candelabra. Head wound was post-mortem. Burn mark on the victim's hand. Like the... We also know that the the candelabra was pulled out down in the PIC room. Oh, what's wrong, Pix? Wait a minute. No. I'm a little bit uncertain actually, since the letter didn't work here. I'm gonna try the raincoat then. Objection! But I was wrong, right on the first one. Initial thought. Chairman the Best, do you know what this is? It seems to be a red raincoat. How about it, Courtney? The victim, Miss Crane, was wearing this earlier. Prosecutor Edgeworth, must I repeat my explanation to you all over again? I suppose it might just come to that, Judge Courtney. Answer me this. If this red raincoat was stained with blood, do you happen to remember where specifically those bloodstains were located? Of course I do. They were on the hood. Wait, it can't be. What does it mean? Judge Courtney, were there any other bloodstains besides the one on the hood? None were detected. Don't you think that's strange? The victim died from a stab wound to the chest. In that case, there should have been bloodstains on the front of the raincoat. However, the only blood they found was on the hood. This is a huge contradiction. The wounds on the victim's head is no ordinary wound. After all, the victim sustained this wound before she was stabbed in the chest. It does appear that way, doesn't it? The victim was first suffered a head wound. If she had already been stabbed in the chest, the raincoat would have been stained with blood. Therefore, it is unthinkable that her chest was stabbed before she suffered the head wound. So, the order of the wounds would be first the head, followed by the chest. However, does that really change the situation? With this, a contradiction is born, one that overturns all of our assumptions until now. Is the change really that great? I look forward to hearing it. Well then, this contradiction, why don't you show it to me? With evidence. I mean, if that is the autopsy report is then faulty.
Take that!
This is the autopsy report written by Dr. Young. According to this, the head wound was post-mortem. But that's not what the raincoat shows. Exactly. It is the exact opposite. Bailiff, hurry and sorry Dr. Bonnie Young at once. Until we hear what she has to say, we cannot close the curtains on this case. Yes, ma'am, understood. Dr. Young is a very busy person. It will take some time for her to arrive. In the meantime, let us try viewing this case from another angle. There is something that's been on my mind. One of the key figures in this case, the conductor. We still don't know who that person is. Not to mention it, even after our investigation we still have no idea who it is. The conductor has come up time and time again during this hearing. However, at this point in time, their identity remains a mystery. How about it? Do you have any ideas? I'm still not sure at the moment, however, there is someone I have in mind. A certain individual involved with this case who might know something about it. Who's that? Blaze the best. I demand your testimony. What? Don't say such a stupid thing. Why would you suspect Pops? I had tried to cast suspicions towards the chairman of the PIC. Do you understand what that means? Status and prestige mean nothing before the truth. That man is trying to pin the crime on Kay. The evidence that was in Kay's possession, the ticket stub, the mask, and the corsage. These items did not come into her possession out of her own volition. By some method, that man purposely planted them on her personage. Yeah, we are not in court. This is a hearing. This is a prosecutorial investigations committee's hearing on whether or not Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth is suitable as a prosecutor. This is not court. But yeah, there's no courtroom here. It is hard to believe such an sudden accusation, but I'll just ask just in case. Why would you do that? Obviously, to direct a suspicion towards Kay. I succeeded in drawing out those words from him earlier. Mr. Chairman, your response? Are you too shocked to speak? And what of it? Perhaps you didn't hear me, I said. What of it? You said that you drew out some words from me, but you don't have a shred of proof, you know. No one else heard it but you. It doesn't work it just doesn't work like that, you see. Or do you have something else, you know? Some kind of basis for your argument? This confident. You also showed it at the cell. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I would like you to explain once more. I trust I have your permission, Mr. Chairman. Of course. I'm pretty interested in this matter myself, you know. I'd like to know just what part of me seems criminal to Mr. Edgeworth. There's no one as honest as me, you see. How can you say that with a straight face? Let's start from the top. The fact that the auction was held in this courtroom is a cause for suspicion. This is the PIC meeting room. I imagine it would be difficult for non-members to enter. And that is why all the members have the keycards, you know. I think we can all assume that multiple auctions have been held here before. Therefore, suspecting a member of the PIC would be the best. Yes, because the conductor had to have been a PIC member. Wait, no! What was that all about? What do I do, Bobs? I just helped the enemy! Sebastian really is an idiot, you know? But you see, Edgeworth, I'm not the only one with access, you know. Indeed. There are 11 members in the PIC. Even if you rule out the victim is Crane, there are still 10 potential suspects. It's not me, but it couldn't be the chairman, right? I don't know who it is, but whoever should just come forward. Yes, everyone, just calm down, you know? Edgeworth, is that all you've got? Where's the evidence to suspect me? Oh, so you've fallen silent. But you've gone too far, you see. I won't forgive you anymore. It's too late for regrets, you know. I'm a very important man, you see. Former chief prosecutor and the chairman of the PIC. It is fine if you're not prepared to face fire, you know. Because you see, either way, it won't make any difference. You've been rambling on for quite a while about the most trivial details, you know? Like the location of the murder, and the order of the wounds, and what else was there? Oh, it doesn't matter, you know. Because you see, none of that means anything, you know. Think about it. We all got the suspect herself saying she killed the victim. That is all that matters, you see. She'll even get a lighter sentence with her confession, you know. Oh yeah, this guy is absolutely the guy who was covering for Manfred von Karma. Absolutely. Now then, if there's any contradictions, be my guest. How can that become considered testimony? There must be a contradiction somewhere. That person. It's very important, isn't he? Mr. Edgeworth. It's alright. Let's just give up. Surely I must have killed her. I can't even remember it. Don't be tied down by your muddled memory. If you want to believe in something. But believe in your own innocence. Believe in me, who believes in you. Ah, there it is. The manliest man alive. Kamiya. We had to have a Gurren Lagann reference here. We just had to have a Gurren Lagann reference. But my opponent is the PIC chairman. Taking him down won't be easy. However, he has underestimated me. If I can take advantage of that. Okay, this is not relevant, I think.
Hold it!
The autopsy report and the questions about the conductor. Were you even listening? talk is cheap, you know. I was listening, you see, but I didn't think much of it, you know. You didn't think much of it, even after I brought up all those issues. Perhaps your judgment needs to be questioned, rather than my ability as a prosecutor. That's a good one, Edgeworth. But you see... How could you say it doesn't matter? Are you trying to suppress the truth? Well, you see, it simply doesn't matter as much as you say it does, you know. You see, Edgeworth, you're the only one saying it matters to avoid a real issue here.
Hold it!
It may be true that she confessed, however, that doesn't make it the truth. She is suffering from memory loss. So, we must question the credibility of her testimony.
Objection!
Whoa! I am not going to try to change his voice to sound like that. Holy shit! And I am not going to try to make my voice that raspy. Absolutely not. And if you say that, you know, it still won't solve anything. What good will it do to deny your confession? Sounds like such nonsense to me. When I try asking her again, I think she's just saying that she's the murderer again, though. What are you kicking? I'm curious. Since, like, you wanted to make pudding, but are you not making pudding? Very well, let's try asking her again one last time. I'd like to hear from Kay herself, whether or not she is a culprit. Huh? From me? Will that be alright? If this goes poorly, it will be quite unfavorable for you. I do not mind, however, I shall ask Kay the question myself. I am moved to tears, you know. How touching, you know. How very touching. Fine then, I'll let you ask her. However, I have one condition. If all this proves to be a waste of time, then that shall be the end of it. How does that sound? In the end? Oh, of the hearing? Yes, yes, it seems you can be that smart every once in a while, Sebastian. It is, I think this is just great as like, its background though. It's like, this game is just so good. In other words, you see, if she confesses again, Kay Faraday will be found beyond a shadow of a doubt guilty. Yep, that's a fine idea. I am greatly enjoying the voice acting. It is so much fun. Guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, that's right. That's harsh, but either way, if I do nothing, she'll be declared guilty. Kay. Yes? I know what I'm asking of you is unreasonable, but please, I want you to answer me. It doesn't matter how tiny it is. Do you remember anything? Anything that will prove you're innocent? Why will you go that far from me? I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm too scared to remember. Because I might have done something even worse. If that were the case, I would only make things worse for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Kay Faraday must have been this despicable criminal. Oh my god. Kay, just take our hugs. Someone who betrayed your trust. Don't worry. We've only known each other for a short while, but I know you very well. I'd even say I know you better than yourself, now that you've lost your memories. You cannot possibly be the culprit because your true identity is... Oh my god! You are the Yatagarasu! The great thief, Yatagarasu! The Yatagarasu is a noble thief, would never stoop to murder! Ah, yes! Oh, it's useless! After all, no matter what, that memory still remains. This image that is stuck in my head, I just can't get rid of it. That means I must have...
Hold it!
There's no clear evidence to prove that you're the culprit besides your own confession. Remember what I said. You must believe in yourself. Or perhaps you cannot trust my words. Oh, that's not it. It's because you are. You're trying to save someone like me. You've already lost so much. All for my sake. I can't bear it anymore. Please just give up. I see now. I thought it was strange. The reason you were acting like you wanted to be found guilty was because you were concerned about me. That is just like you, Kay. It's because you're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth. Unfortunately, I may fall short of your expectation. I am not trying to be a good person. No matter how much you may want me to give up, I will keep trying to save you. That is the true nature of who I am. Whether or not it's a burden for you is none of my concern. Like, I care not for your well-being. I will save you, whether you like it or not, and I will have my truth. God damn it. Yeah, you're being saved. Do not resist. We have a runner over here. Do not resist. We're trying to heal you. Kay, believe in yourself once more. You are a noble, great thief. What you should be doubting is your memory committing the murder. That is my wish above all else. Thief. Hi. Aha! Kay! What is it? Do you remember something? Oh, if she remembers something now. Highly like a bad movie. Bull. Ugh. My ear just keeps on itching. Trying to get away from here. Bull? Prosecutor Edgeworth, please ask her to clarify. Yeah, that eye movement of Kay is very, very, like, just... It's so intense. Like, wow. Well, okay. What do you mean by bull? I remember now. The person in red raincoat had it with her. Had that with her. The stuffed bull doll, I'm certain of it. Is that true, defendant? Yes, Your Honor. The court hereby accepts the defendant's statement as new pieces of evidence testimony. God. Quit messing around, Courtney. A testimony like that cannot be accepted, you know. Your objection has been noted, sir. However, testimony about the victim's belongings... has been lacking up until now.
Objection.
Nevertheless, her vague memories can be trusted, Her memories are vague. That would be bad for us as well. Didn't you say this earlier yourself, Mr. Chairman? Since we had the suspect's confession, we don't need to worry about the trivial details. If we decide to doubt her memories, then we must also doubt her confession, which is the main foundation of our case. Are you willing to do that, sir?
You're right. Well, I never mind then. I shall leave it to you.
Yes, your objection has been noted and filed away for the time being. And it's overruled. Thank you very much.
It was just a touch and go for a while, though. However, those words of Judge Courtney just now, it almost feels as if she is on our side.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you know anything about this stuffed animal?
The stuffed animal Case spoke of must have been this. We found it in the storeroom. It is believed to be one of the items for the auction.
This is...
Do you know something about it, Justine?
No, it's just a bit different from what I imagined.
Indeed, it's certainly not what I would have expected from the victim to be carrying. Let's examine every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. The only thing I have is this here.
That horn is missing.
There's a hole in the stuffed animal. You see, this hole is where the horn was inserted into.
I guess the head isn't stuck with just cotton. How was inside?
Perhaps we should examine the other side. The right horn seems to be fine, but the entire balance feels a bit off.
This horn! Looks like you can move it.
What?
What's that buzzing sound?
You see, this toy is equipped with a recording device. And... I know who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. Silence, huh? I've been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time. Is this the moment of the murder?
Look, they recorded something like this.
Well, we do know who has a burn mark. What is this? There ain't no doubt about it. This here is what I heard.
We cannot verify when these voices were recorded. It is also possible they aren't related to the case at all. If only we had some video as well.
That's hogwash. I'm telling ya, that right there was the conversation that I heard. The victim was holding on to it, right? I reckon it must have been recorded when she got attacked.
I always want to see what people are cooking, no matter what level they are at, because there are multiple reasons. I love being inspired by what people make. Like amateur stuff, just professional stuff, everything, because I love just seeing what's being cooked. Just repeating myself really, but seeing what people make and trying it for myself. Because there have been so many times when I have been inspired to do something I've never tried before because someone else has cooked. And honestly, here's another thing. I have been inspired by food that is just from pre-made frozen food that you just stuff in a microwave and make. You just eat it. I have been inspired to make dishes from that. So, I always want to see what people. I'm always curious what people are eating. No, Van. No puns, only food. That certainly is a possibility. However, your testimony alone is insufficient. I require something with a little bit more credibility. Again, her word. It almost sounds as if she is trying to give me advice. Judge Courtney, there is no mistake that those voices were from the incident. Please recall the audio that was recorded by the stuffed animal. I knew you were who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. If we compare that part of the recording with a certain piece of evidence, we can prove it. This is the evidence that shows the recording took place during the moment of the crime.
Take that!
The autopsy report. And exactly what part of the autopsy report shows that?
Take that!
I clearly remember what the voice said. You cannot hide that burn from me. On the victim's hand, there was a burn mark. Indeed, this happened to match up, you see, but what of it? According to case testimony, the victim had been holding the stuffed animal, and it just so happened to recall the very characteristics of the victim, namely the burn. It's just a coincidence. I mean, it could happen, right? So, by the way, here's an example of one of the things I have done. I haven't got around to making it yet, but I want to. It is chicken banana curry. We can get that down here at the local supermarket in the freezer section. We tried it just because we wanted to try it. So, it works! Surprisingly, like, banana chicken curry works! It is super weird, but it works! Now, the Swedes, being the crazy people that they are, have also done this combination on pizza. That doesn't work. But together with the rice, it is actually very good. That's just a coincidence. I mean, it could happen, right? And yes, the first time I tried was with that frozen thing. I do not think so. It is hard to believe that all this is simply a coincidence. The voices on the stuffed animal were most likely recorded during the incident. One of those voices must belong to the true culprit. From what we've heard, it must have been the one who was doing the most of the talking. But what's the point? In the end, we still can't tell their gender or identity, you know? Indeed, because they had been using voice changer. Yeah, like, surprisingly, banana works on a lot of things, not just desserts and as a snack. It works really well with dinners too. It seems the situation has become quite clear. The conversation Miss Hart overheard was between the culprit and Miss Crane. What? That's what I've been telling you from the start. And from this, we will understand a new fact. Please enlighten us. I trust you have no objections, Mr. Chairman. Do what you want. According to Miss Hart's testimony just before the incident, 2 people came up from the auction hall using the lift. It must have been the conductor and one of the auction guests. They probably went there just to settle the payment after winning a bid. Look at the picture in the autopsy report and look at it. Oh. Check general. What have you done? Of course, of course. Okay. I'm going to give you all a little view of what's going on. Actually, I'm not going to. You can check it yourself in my general. Actually, can I do it? I can do it quick. Oh, I can. TC. What are you doing? Like, just, you know, always with the modifications to my emotes, huh? Let's see. Look at it. I will get back to it. And then there was that cry that was carried out. Since the auction continued after the crime took place, we are led to a single truth. Since the conductor was the only one who could have kept the auction going, we can only conclude that the deceased victim could not have been the conductor. Justine? Please be quiet here, okay? If the conductor was not the victim, then they must have been the culprit. Please wait. That alone is insufficient. Of course. Raid mode. Of course. Even I do not intend to rely on the process of elimination. Certain traces left at the crime scene led me to believe that the culprit is the conductor. Well then, show it to us. I mean, it has to be this one, right?
Take that!
Okay, it does not. Oh wait. Blood on the hidden lip. Is it that though? I mean, that's the traces.
Take that!
Okay, it's not. I am doing badly! I mean, it's saying traces. Okay, let's go on the, like this one. Because we have the, like, the gloves. Well, don't tell me the solutions, you know the rules, Subtile. Yeah, you mean the candelabra? Yeah. But this is thought to be the murder weapon, but like, nothing was found on it. She got tested out by the candles, yes. No. I'm actually very uncertain. What were the traces left at the crime scene that let me deduce the culprit is the conductor? Oh, there's a blood trace. Stylized fox spelling. Bull. Traces left at the crime scene. I am actually uncertain because like the only thing I can think of this is not traces. This has bloodstain is inside. This is traces, but you can do anything. This is one of those dumb things. This is not a trace. Yeah, she looked like she was murdered in the office on the storeroom. Like, yeah. I am actually uncertain now that like so the way it works. So the conductor has no glove. Like the conductor has gloves. I am genuinely unsure about this one. Yeah, like say scumming. Or just like, might as well just look at the thing. Because the... Whoa, lag. Wow, okay, that's a thing. She has the gloves on, yes. But like that, that's just because they want to set things up. Should be. Okay, well, I thought I had presented this. I thought I presented that. No, wait. I presented this one. No. The culprit purposefully left a large amount of blood in the victim in the meeting room. In doing so, we were led to believe the meeting room had been the scene of the crime. It was a ruse by the true culprit to hide the blood that had fallen from the storeroom.
So, we didn't find out about the existence of the black market auction, correct?
Indeed. If the culprit had been unrelated to the auction, there would have been no need to do such a thing. Ergo, the culprit could only have been the conductor.
Well then, do you have any idea who the conductor might possibly be?
The auction hall is at the PIC meeting room, and furthermore, there is a storeroom above it. So the conductor must have been, at the very least, a member of the PIC. Oh! In other words, you suspect me, I take it. Isn't it natural to suspect you, with the one with the most authority in the PIC?
Objection.
You are quite capable, I'll give you that much at least. But you know, like I said before, you're far too naive. You have nothing, you know. There's no evidence that proves I am the culprit, you see. If, by some chance, you do have the evidence, then why don't you present... Do I have evidence that Blaze is the culprit? We don't. Blaze himself has suggested that he is the criminal. He has been showing that strange self-confidence for a while now. He knows there's not a single piece of evidence that's left behind to incriminate him. If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned, Edgeworth. Just kidding. I just always wanted to say that, you know. Well then, Botany.
I reckon I'd just remember something too.
But you also lost your memories?
Nah, I ain't it. Just something popped out in my head right now. Very well. Please tell us.
Objection.
Courtney, would you tell me what you are doing?
Prosecutor Edgeworth will not give up until we have destroyed every last possibility. I am destroying every possibility so that he will never oppose us again.
Justine! I don't really know what's going on, but well said! Pops, I'm gonna help too. After all, he's the one who's wrong. Fine then, let's hear what she has to say.
Well then, Miss Hart, please, proceed.
Sure thing, leave me. Oh. The fact that we're getting this music here tells me that we're gonna get absolutely nothing from her. Please make sure you only tell the truth.
Ain't that a matter of course? I'm just a bona fide journalist of justice, you know.
Somehow I feel uneasy.
Y'all saying the culprit was a conductor, right? That means the victim was a customer. Now here's where it gets a mad strange. You see, there were 11 people at the auction. When the auction continued after the incident, I went straight on over and snuck a peek down below.
You don't mean?
That's exactly what I mean. All 11 people were still there, arrested and accounted for.
What?
Are you sure about that? I'm sure. I saw it on to add. So it started with 11 people, and there were still 11 people after the murder.
Was it a ghost?
You know, Sebastian, normally a prosecutor would call that a contradiction, you know?
Were there really no changes in the auction at all?
Really, I'm telling ya, the auction just went on like normal. Ah, but that was that 80-bit thing, though.
What was it?
You know, those hammers you always see at the auction? That one of those that ladies are using over here. An auction gavel, perhaps? Yup, that's the one. All of a sudden, I couldn't hear the sound no more. Hadn't you been banging away just prior to it?
The sound of a gavel? Does that have anything to do with the case?
If Miss Hart's testimony is the truth, then this matter has taken a grave turn. If the victim was neither the conductor nor a customer, the very foundation of Prosecutor Edgeworth's reasoning would collapse.
Justice prevails, as they say. I hope you've learned your best lesson, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, there really is nothing we can do.
It's not over yet. Some mysteries still remain. I have to think. If I don't, then K will be.
Did you get the answer you wanted this time? Well then, it's a deal's a deal. Please wait, Mr. Chairman. I believe it is still too early to make a judgment. There are still a few mysteries left in this case. Until we have solved them all, we cannot call this a complete victory. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I was expecting you to shout. Hold it. Like you always do.
Yes, of course. Once again, Judge Courtney has come to my aid. Well then, what is it? What sort of mysteries are left?
Well, of course, there is still a contradiction in the autopsy report.
That kind of thing?
I brought her in. Wait, what's wrong? Why are we suddenly called here? Did someone suddenly get sick? I'll begin preparing compress. Stat! Ouch! What'd you call me for? Did something happen? Dr. Young, Miss Jensen, you have my gratitude for taking you the trouble to come here. This won't take long, so please relax. Tell me what in the blaze is going on, what she says. Of course. We called you here because something came up.
Judge Courtney, just what are you planning?
Bunny Young, under the divine rule of law, please answer truthfully. There were no mistakes in your autopsy report, correct? Granny would never make a mistake. That is certainly strange. Huh? What is strange? This court has found an error in Dr. Young's autopsy report. Dr. Young, please tell the truth. Did you falsify the autopsy report? That's terrible. How can you accuse her of that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Why would I do such a thing in the first place? To protect the true culprit, of course. What you talking about? I would never do such a thing. How strange. In that case, why would there be an error in the autopsy report, I wonder? Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you think? Oh, I expected you to press into a statement like you normally do.
Why is she taking control of the situation and trying to help? I don't know what her goal is, but I must play along. If the autopsy report you gave to Sebastian had been authentic, then the error should not have been there. Wait a minute! I didn't do anything! That is what we'll figure out from this point on. Firstly, Dr. Young, I'd like to hear your testimony. Why do you want to hear her testimony? It's really pointless. I will be the one who decides whether or not it is pointless, not you. There are patients waiting for us. But Granny, ouch! Anyways, we don't have time for this. Is there any way I could convince you this is of utmost importance? Mr. Miles Edgeworth, Granny says she'll testify. So please, try to finish this quickly. If you don't return soon, there'll be people in terrible suffering. And yet, you were lollygagging about the viewing platform earlier. I promise you, this won't take long. Only if she tells the truth, of course. There are no mistakes in Granny's autopsy reports. I've been working with the corpses longer than you've been alive. There's no way I'd make a mistake in writing the autopsy report. Ouch! I got nothing to gain from falsifying the report. Is what she says. See? There's nothing wrong, strange at all. Ah, yes, that's right, you know. There's no way she would falsify it, see? Under the name of the goddess of law, do you swear that this testimony is the truth? Of course! Granny would never tell a lie.
Objection!
We were asking Dr. Young. We do not need to hear it from a third party. I'm the third party. I'm on Granny's side. If you raise an objection to my testimony, you'd be prepared to yourself. You, ex-prosecutor. I will definitely expose the contradiction in the autopsy report. Excuse me. Ah. Okay.
Hold it!
The victim wore this raincoat after suffering a blow to the head, and yet there was not a single drop of blood on the front of the raincoat. Therefore, it is impossible for the head wound to have been post-mortem. Well, that's... Ouch! I don't need you to tell me that. That's what I wrote down from the very beginning. The autopsy report says the head wound was post-mortem. That's completely different. Yeah? I relate to Karen what to put down in the autopsy report. After that, it was none of my beeswax. Relate to Karen. Please elaborate on that.
Hold it!
I would like to verify once again what you saw when you examined the body. Like we said, ouch! Oh, well, about that. She was done in a thump to a noggin. Dr. Young, do you know when that happened? Before she died, of course. The wounds on her chest were post-mortem. That's what I relayed to Karen. That's what should have been written in the report. That's what you relayed to her, eh? I'm finally beginning to see the truth. Okay, so it's not that either. Okay, what was that? Dr. Young, please confirm what this autopsy report says with your own eyes. Ah, I'll read it out loud for you. Ouch! This autopsy report wasn't written by me. What? What do you mean? I don't know. But Granny, I can't say that. Miss Jensen,
If you are trying to keep the truth in the dark, then, in place of the goddess of law, I shall hear your confession. Yeah, that tricked me too. When I was like, oh, because the music keeps playing, I was like, oh, I messed up. And then it stops. Oh, okay. Judge Courtney is talking with Dr. Young in private. What? Is that true? Understood. I shall convey your words to everyone else, Dr. Young. I properly relayed the autopsy report orally to that child. It seems my granddaughter must have mucked it up when she was writing it down. Wow! She mimicked her voice perfectly. There was no need for her to go that far, though. In other words, the contents of the autopsy report have been falsified. By your hand, Miss Jensen. Oh, With that, we've proven the wound on her head came first, followed by the chest wound. Oh, and also, the impalement was also post-mortem. That's what she said. I can't hear you over my updated autopsy report. Insert meme here. Edgeworth dancing. Miss Jensen, why did you falsify the autopsy report? Hold on a second. She never said she falsified it, you know? She just made a tiny, teeny mistake when she wrote it down. Post-mortem and ante-mortem sound kind of similar, you know. It really doesn't. They're completely opposites. That's the very definition of falsification. Jensen, why would you lie? Okay, ouch. I want you to tell me too. Why would you do something like that? Granny, but Because you falsified the autopsy report, Kay fell under suspicion. Tell me why you did it. I can't say. I just can't say it. Not. I don't want to say, but I can't say. We're all a bunch of bullies, you know. Ganging up on this poor girl who loves her grandmother so. She is totally unrelated to this. I think we can forgive her for a tiny mistake. That won't do. Aren't you the one with the most to lose if she testifies? What are you saying? You see, as a former prosecutor, you have to speak a little more clearly, you know. Very well, as you wish. I shall answer clearly. Miss Jensen played an essential role in this case. Miss Jensen falsified the autopsy report in order to assist the true culprit. Ah, ow! That girl is an accomplice. What's your basis for that claim? It was impossible for a single person to commit this crime in the first place. The crime could not have been committed without at least two people, namely because... If the conductor was the culprit and one of the auction guests was the victim, it would contradict what the witness's testimony that there were 11 people after the incident. What now? You got a problem with my testimony? Not at all. Rather, it is because I believe your testimony that is why an accomplice must exist. So, you still won't admit that your reasoning is wrong? Up until now, we have not even considered the possibility of an accomplice. However, if there had been an accomplice, that changes the story entirely. If the accomplice took the murder's auction's guest place, then the number of people remains 11. Oh, I see now. So that's what you're thinking. What you know, wouldn't that have been quickly discovered? Miss Jensen and the victim had similar physiques. If she wore the victim's mask, she could easily have taken her place.
Miss Jensen, did you switch places with the victim? If the great Ace Attorney comes on the switch, then yes, probably. Not even probably, most assuredly. I wouldn't. Who was the conductor? In other words, tell me who was the true culprit. I can't. I mean, that would cause trouble for Granny. Ouch. But Granny, I would accept whatever wrongs you may have done. Just tell everything. Granny! As I thought, it appears you really were the accomplice. Miss Jensen, why? Miss Jensen, would you please tell us? Yes. It's okay, Granny, I'm fine now. I switched places with the victim, Miss Crane. So, you admit to being the conductor's accomplice? Yes, I helped the conductor. I don't really know why, but for some reason... The conductor was expecting to be attacked by Miss Crane. The conductor expected to be attacked by the victim. They were sure it was going to happen, but they came up with a plan to counter it. A way to beat the victim at their own game. And that's when I was called in. Ooh, that is exciting. I will definitely play the Great Ace Attorney on the Switch. I was told to wait in the storeroom before the auction began. Oh, right there. You ain't fooling my eyes. If you're waiting in the storeroom, I reckon I would have bumped into you. After all, I've been up in that storeroom the entire auction. I'm telling the truth. I wonder about that, you know. Oh, can we really believe a girl who would falsify a report?
Objection!
Huh. There should have been many places to hide in that storeroom. Then by all means tells me, where did our little nurse hide? The only thing I can think of is inside the costume trunk.
Take that!
She hid inside this costume trunk. A costume trunk, eh? Ah, now that you mention it, that box was already in there before I snuck in. I figured I would hide in there myself, but it was wrapped up nice and tight with a chain. And it was locked too, so I had to give it up. I suspect that when you sneaked into the room, Miss Jensen was already inside the trunk. Yes, it would be better if one of the guests from the auction had opened the lid. After instructing me to hide inside, the conductor wrapped a chain around the costume trunk. I think they went downstairs using the lift shortly thereafter. It was right before the auction. So, when the auction began, only you and Miss Hart were in the storeroom. Yes, that should be right. The auction had been going on as usual, but when a certain participant made the winning bid, the conductor committed the crime. Miss Hart must have heard the altercation that occurred then. You betcha! I was traveling behind that there statue the whole time though. Following the altercation, Miss Jill Crane was murdered. After killing Jill Crane, the conductor carried her body to the costume room. And Miss Jensen, who had been hiding in the trunk, was made to take Miss Crane's place. The victim's body was placed inside the costume trunk. The conductor then took Miss Jensen, who had been made to look like Jill Crane, and returned to the auction hall as if nothing had happened. Was this roughly what happened at the store during the incident? Yes, that's right. Pulling the old switcheroo with one of the auction guests. Ain't that impossible? That gal and the murder victim are two completely different
people, y'all know. Don't you reckon one of the other participants would have noticed and caused a rug?
No, not at all. The reason I didn't notice the switch was because... From what I can tell, Miss Jensen and the victim appear to have similar physique. Furthermore, there was a rule requiring a mask to be worn during the auction. If their clothes were the same, I doubt anyone would have noticed she was a different person. Yes, I blended right in. I borrowed Miss Crane's clothes and ouch! It mustn't embarrass the dead like that. I know! I also thought it was pretty hard to leave her exposed like that. So when the conductor wasn't looking, I covered her up in the raincoat that was up for the auction. So, she was the one who put the red raincoat on the victim. And then the auction resumed as if nothing had happened. I reckon I took a picture of her in the red coat after that. That made the facts all line up. After I took the photo, I went over to the lift to take a peek down below. I witnessed 11 participants, and I hightailed it back behind the stack. Don't tell me you were hiding there the entire time until we found you. Nah, that's how should I put it. What is it? Did something happen? I didn't mention before, but after that, I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted. Well, something like that. So something did happen. It ain't all big deal. Kind of embarrassing to say though. There was this huge thump sound all of a sudden. And I was a little surprised by that. Oh, that is fine. It was right after I just witnessed the murder, so I was checking my boot. I sort of tightened up and I was off to La La Land. When I woke up, it was already the next day, around the time y'all came by in the storeroom. I see, so there was a large sound. Miss Hart, I take it you do not know what transpired in the storeroom beyond this point. I reckon. But after the auction, all the masks were returned properly. So I reckon participants had exited through the storeroom just like I don't say. Miss Jensen, what were your actions during after the auction resumed? I took the victim's place and participated in the auction. The conductor instructed me to win the bid for the costume truck, because the body was inside it. It would have been bad if another auction guest won the bid for it. You didn't realize the box was empty? No, we only found out when I came up to the storeroom to pay the bill. The conductor was with me and told me to go search for her immediately. And then I found another girl collapsed in front of the ladder. Hey. Yes, she probably fell down from the roof and lost consciousness. Maybe the victim left the hatch open when she went up to the rooftop? I understand now. Kay was surprised at seeing the collapsed victim and did not notice the open hatch. She must have missed her footing and fell down into the storage. Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was like the sound of Kay falling into the storage room floor. That may have been it, though I reckon it's kind of pathetic to faint over something like that. When Miss Jensen found the unconscious Kay, Miss Hart was also unconscious behind the statue. The situation is becoming clearer too. Miss Jensen, please continue your story. After I found Kay and the victim, I put them both in the trunk. If the customers at the auction found out, there would have been a huge commotion. Was this an order from the conductor as well? Yes, it was. But since I secretly decided to put the raincoat on Miss Crane, I had to dispose of the raincoat without the conductor noticing. So the conductor didn't anticipate the raincoat becoming another piece of evidence. And finally, we just Miss Crane in a spare conductor's cockpit. I see. In doing so, you made the victim appear as if she was the conductor.
In the end, the auction ended without anyone noticing anything. Miss Jensen, your crimes have become clear. If you know anything else, please hold nothing back. I want to help you more, but that is all I know. If I had to say, there is just one thing that bothers me. When I took Miss Crane's place, I borrowed her clothes. But there's no way for me to borrow her hair. Ouch! That kind of coroner's assistant goes around stealing a corpse's hair? I would think that robbing the deceased of their clothes would be questionable enough. But the color and the length of our hair is different, so I was worried about how to disguise it. However, the conductor even had a wig prepared for me. In fact, he had two of them. Inside a costume trunk was both a straight wig and a wavy wig. Two wigs? Why were there two? Who knows? Maybe it was a precaution in case the victim had changed her hairstyle. I ended up using the straight wig to match Miss Crane's hair. Wait a minute. Do we have anything that makes us think of a wig? We don't. So that means the wavy wig was left unused. Is that really all you know? Yes. Yep, that's really all I know. So that means you don't know who the conductor is. I'm sorry, I only knew that the person as the auction conductor. I never saw that person without a mask on. The conductor seemed to be on guard towards everybody. This rate. Edgeworth, is that all you got? Even if that little nurse is an accomplice, it changes absolutely nothing, you know. In the end, the true culprit is still Kay Faraday. All you did was add another criminal, you know. The rule of law cannot be overturned. At least, not for your sake. It's as far as I go. I'm unable to save Kay.
Objection!
Yes! Francisca, why are you here?
Didn't I tell you, Miles Edgeworth? Wherever there's a case, I will follow. Prosecutor von Karma, your hard work is most appreciated. However, don't get the wrong idea. I only came here to find out the truth behind what happened to Kay Faraday. I don't plan on forgiving you for abandoning the prosecutor's path.
So there's another part of this. I don't think I'll be finishing this game today after all. At least case today after all. I was not anticipating the last case to take this long. I understand.
You should thank your former subordinate. He gave me some valuable information which may save Kay Faraday.
Let him gumshoe then.
Listen well, Miles Edgeworth. This will be the final piece of evidence. Jill Crane suffered the wound to her head first.
Poor Francisca.
Well, someone say something.
Well, I hate to say it, but we already proved that.
Already proved it?
Yes, well, just a few minutes ago. Oh!
You should have told me sooner.
You're the one who barged in here and started talking.
Well then, does that mean that you have found the murder what the murder weapon was already?
No, not yet.
Is that so? Well, in that case, listen well. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt cylindrical object. The wound on her chest was suffered post-mortem.
A
A cylindrical murder weapon.
Objection.
You know, this report of yours, I trust is accurate, of course. These were the results of 2 independent autopsies carried out by 2 respected doctors.
Objection.
That's reassuring, but it's too bad you have no right to investigate this case. Interpol is after the black market auction, and I am the prosecutor in charge of that investigation. The victim participated in the auction. Therefore, it is only natural for me to investigate. Especially now that she has been murdered. I see, I see. Clever girl, little one Carmen. Then it has been settled. The victim died from a blunt force trauma to the head. Unfortunately, the murder weapon has yet to be found. Just knowing the shape of the murder weapon gives me an idea of what it might be. Hey, this is my investigation. I didn't find any other murder weapons, you know? If you consider the conductor's possessions at the crime scene, the answer should be clear. The blunt cylindrical object used in the auction hall was something the conductor had in their hand during the auction. Namely, an auction gavel. An auction gavel? We didn't find anything like that. If the culprit is the conductor, it is possible the gavel may be the murder weapon. However, that alone is not reason enough. Wouldn't you agree? Of course. I have proof to back it up. I do? I have evidence of that? I mean, it has to be this one. Right? Let's see. So not that one, I reckon. This one. Lotta's testimony. According to Miss Hart's testimony, after the victim had been murdered, it seems she suddenly stopped hearing the sound of the gavel during the auction. However, she had been able to hear it up until then. Why was that, you ask? It was because it had been used as a murder weapon and was covered in the victim's blood. It became necessary to dispose of it, isn't that right? Blaze the best? I'll have a search for the murder weapon performed immediately. Well, good luck with that, you know. You're gonna work as hard as you can while you're younger, see? He's completely confident that we won't find it. Well then, while the search for the murder weapon continues, I hereby call for a brief recess. Thank you. Holy shit. I guess we are finishing this case next Friday then. Because I just can't do this 3 days. So, wow. We've been, this one section here took 2 hours and like more than 2.5 hours. And my just everything is now beat. So I'm going to stop here. But, you know, I think Courtney does know who is responsible, which is why she's doing all of this. So maybe we're getting our a GP here. I suppose we're getting our AAGP on this case rather than the next case and the last case. So let us see who we can rate. I was not anticipating on doing like taking this much for this one. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. It's been so much fun. It is just so fun to play this game, and I hope you will join me for the next part on next Friday. So, can we rate someone? Yes, that's it for today. Because I'm not going to strain myself by potentially doing another 2.5 hour session of voice acting. I need to figure out some way to train my voice a bit so I can do voice acting a bit more, like for longer periods of time. But until then, I'm not going to take any chances because I want to continue playing this game. And it's better to take for it to be slow and steady instead of me breaking my voice and not being able to speak at all. So there we go. Like only 2 parts. Okay. 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 Let's actually take a look at that just quickly. I'm going to take a quick look at it because if it's not too much, maybe we can do it now. Gonna see. Okay, yeah, so it is just 2, but potentially a lot of. Okay, actually, I assume it's gonna be a lot. So I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk it. If we finish it early next time, we can do some other like chill on afterwards, which is not Ace Attorney. So we'll go with that. Now then, rating. Who shall we raid? We can raid Pika Spray. I have no idea what he's playing. Unlife. Unreal Life. Never heard of Unreal Life. Let's go. Let's figure out. Let's go find out what it is. Oh. Well then, let's get to it. So, thank you all for watching. And, well, I hope you will all have a wonderful weekend. And see you all for Monday for some more Hyrule Warrior, Age of Calamity. Take care, everyone.